Here we go. Yes. All right. And what's going on, everybody? This is your boy, King Gabe here, going live about to say, Kroger Boss, power up, everybody. Yeah, we sent in the last few, the message there. Say, my main, my main crew hitters here. Yeah, that's the, all right. Okay, but yeah, that's what we. That's the last time in the little last time on King Gabe's live stream at the bonus stream. We was talking about Power Ranger Mega Cards, so which was one of my fan series, following right after when I mentioned about my adventures in the main Power Rangers universe. Here we're going to talk about the version 1 and 2 of Kroger Force. I got two different versions about to cover here. Basically, because version number one kind of came off more like a prototype there, to pretty much test the waters of it. First time, almost like the any of y'all ever seen the pilot episode Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Remember when they was when they was testing that out, and before they got the actors trainee and stuff like that, they had somebody else, and everything kind of looked different with the command center and such there. So yeah, pretty much, yes, you could say kind of like that there, and then change some stuff, and then you got version 2. It kind, in a way, I think version 1 was going to be the original Kroger Force Power Rangers until certain changes got made. So yeah, that's why I say version 1 and 2. And this when I was at the Mansfield Road Kroger here in Shreveport, not the Kroger I'm at now, but a Kroger I was at before now. Yeah, so and matter of fact, that Kroger is closed down and everything. Somebody came in here there. Say, kind of. Okay, I guess the guy. Yeah, obviously the people coming into the chat gotta get the likes, but yeah, like I say, once I come back in, you can put some likes up in there. So yeah, like I say, definitely. Let's see, try to try to get some more men. Trying to get them in here. There. Uh, Kind of had a bit of a late start for one thing. And that's at eight to 8:30. Still, like EJ, I'm trying to work. I'm still working it as well. You would think in my case it would be a little easier to get here on time there, because I have to be at work like um, early in the morning there. But um, sometimes stuff be having me stuff comes up after work is out, or either sometimes you have to work over a little bit there and then have to take care of stuff. Not to mention it. Plus, in my case, I say we kind of me and Christine, we like to eat first. As soon as we get home from work, before going into the stream, especially since we're out early and everything, and yeah, you can tell we ain't too long. Ate and got relaxed a little bit there. That big subway. Um, share a funny little. I'm gonna share a funny before going into this. Share a little something. Um, Something I find really odd about Subway though. Um, Not, I mean, I like to eat there, but there's a little something kind of odd there, and it's how a lot of time people it's how they set their sandwiches up. And I think I mentioned this in a video I once had on, but it was on my other channel there. So yeah, you might some of y'all may have seen it there. If you follow my other channels like Miracle Universe. But yeah, there was a let's see. See, I'm looking for the picture that I showed them at Subway there. I had brought it up. And they was like, what? Right. And there it was. Nope, nope, nope. And some of these burger setups are kind of off too there. Cause see, the thing is, I'm used to when it comes to like something like burgers or sandwiches. I'm my I was like, 'cause this is the way I've had it ever since the beginning, and this seems, and I don't see how this is not the norm for some reason at Subway, and I guess any other place that does like them, why this would not be the norm here. Um, okay, let me. Oh, here it is. So yeah, you see that right there. See how they got um the patty right there. Then you got your cheese, and then on like your vegetables. And then plus, if you want, you have your condiments like your ketchup and all that. So yeah, that's the So I had, and the reason I showed that to him, because today, normally I get a lately, like I've been getting a flatbread foot long there, and the flatbread, don't really matter where everything go because you can eat because it's the same on both sides. But but today, wifey wanted to get a flatbread, and so I decided to get an Italian over cheese bread for my sandwich, so we'd be able to tell our sandwiches apart. And so the thing is, yeah, obviously, that kind of sandwich is, top is going to be different from the bottom, and yeah, like I say, because if you don't tell them at Subway, for some reason, they've told me that they're trained to do this there, to put the meat on. Say, like, let me show you the picture again. So just say this top, they just say, okay, you got your top and bottom bun. They would put the meat on the top bun, on the top or the top part of the sandwich, and then have all the veggies underneath at the bottom. Like, why would you do that? And yeah, I don't get that at all. There, why that would be the norm. But Bert, what's up, BJ? Burgers, yes. Actually, I'm talking about the Subways. I was mentioning about the Subway sandwich what we talked about. You're hungry, yes. So yeah, but I'm using the reason I showed the burger because I that's what I was showing them at Subway of how to make my sandwich. Since I had Italian herb cheese bread, that I wanted everything on like my vegetables and all that on top of the meat, just like a burger, And the clerk at Subway was like kind of almost like this was a foreign concept to her. Like no, we put all this stuff. That's not the way. I was like, look, ma'am, this is the way I've been eating sandwiches and burgers pretty much my whole life here, and I don't see how. And I clearly don't understand why this is so why this seems so strange to you guys, or why Subway system seems like the opposite of it there. Because them doing it like that is like they doing it backwards there. Like I don't get it there. Don't get it. Maybe it might be part of my spectrum thing. I don't spectrum thing of wanting it like that, but yeah, it just don't. I just don't see it there. Yeah, but yeah, they think of that's kind of weird there now. Like I say, other everybody else going to Subway, maybe it doesn't matter to you. Maybe you don't. Maybe it don't bother you, but that's fine there. But yeah, like I say, I like it the original way, and that's so that's what happened. That's what happened. That was me and Christina getting dinner today. So it's Subway there. Um, and also one of the things to share about pertaining to Kroger, because I know we've been talking about Kroger for its power right now. We're about to go into that. Um, Also pertaining to Kroger, I actually got a notification on my phone. Bring it up here. I guess it might come up. Let's see. I mean, it may not because I think I've looked. I guess because I've looked at it. Okay, it's not coming up. But for some reason, I heard that Kroger is suing Albertson for some reason, and that seems kind of strange because let's see, Kroger sue Albertson. Yeah, that's it's a so Albertson is. I found out from somebody at work that Albertson has sued Kroger. Now Kroger is countersuing after the demise of a 25 billion merger, $1 billion merger. Like what? Uh, so there's apparently some. Like I say, I don't know the complete details, but just from what I'm pulling up in the Google search, it's apparently some. Um, like I say, countersues. There's some court filings there. I don't. Yeah, like I say, like I say, if y'all want to go now, like I say, I just meant that's just something that when it came up in my notifications. Really, I don't know what strange. I don't know. I guess I don't know what I would consider stranger. Subway's fixing their sandwiches like they do, or this. This is strange because, like I say, I, as far as I'm concerned, Albertson and Kroger are supposed to be kind of on the same page now with that merger and everything. Y'all supposed to be working together. Um, yeah, so I don't know. Maybe was kind of making me think of like with Shield and Hydra, how they how Shield and Hydra um when they had in Captain America a Winter Soldier, when it turned out they had some people on the inside that was leaked that was pretty much like traitors in the organization. Which I guess in that case it was basically Shield, but they had Hydra agents in there that they didn't even know about, or either they knew they were Hydra agents, but apparently it's like, okay, well we're working for you now, but secretly they had their own agenda. So yeah, I don't know, maybe something like that. Maybe Albertson is like Hydra now. See, we Kroger, we have watched you rise to power, and now we as Albertson, we have been standing in your shadow of this merger, but now we want to rise and take what is ours. Kroger, you will be the one in our shadow, and we will be the top store over you and all the other grocery stores there are. Hail Albertson. So, uh, I don't know. Maybe that's what it said. Maybe I don't know. Yeah, that's just what come to my mind with all that going on. Ain't no telling there. Yeah, y'all if maybe when y'all get time, if y'all wanna see more about it, y'all look it up there. So, look up and look at the articles and stuff there. But that's yeah, like I said, I just that just what came to my mind, just kind of browsing through it. So they say, like I said, that's one thing I'm not really. Yeah, so that's kind of what's went on today, and of course, the usual work day and stuff like that. So, all right, so yeah, like I say, I was excited to get to the Power Rangers Kroger Force today. So here we here we are. We are about to talk about. Oh yeah, and Flora has been completed. Yep, got the whole enchilada there. Like I say, thanks to Casey. Of course, I had did the sketch of it. Then once I sent it over to Casey, she got the coloring and the details and everything. Yeah, all the little details and stuff. Yeah. So just like and she did the same thing. She did the same thing with Star Striker. So these are the two picks. So I'm gonna as soon as possible, I'm gonna get that book together, make sure everything, is still okay in it and everything. It's already written out. Just gonna, give it another look over, make sure everything is what I want. As far as in the writing, then get the pictures in line, email myself, whatever, and get this book out. We have a Yumiko trilogy, and they have the Supreme Star Striker, just like EJ the Supreme. So yes, that was a little. It's a Yumiko 1, 2, and 3 there. Rounding to the rescue, Hiko's magical time, and the Supreme Star Striker. Then Christina will be working on Bubblina, the first Bubblina novel, and I will uh, eventually get the next Yumiko book after some little promotion with the three, the trilogy first. Get that so y'all can get y'all some copies of it and everything once the third one's out there. And of course, like I say, eventually, along with Bubblina's first novel, you'll eventually be hearing about the fourth novel of Yumiko, which of course have a little backstory for Brownie. So yeah, it's almost like movie releases there. So and possibly I might do another Superman and Supergirl fan fiction there. Fan fiction episode. Yeah, I know I did. Been a while since I did the first one. I might do another one because of the Superman movie coming out July the 11th. So, yep, might just all depends on what comes to my mind between now and July 11th. Uh, Hopefully something there, maybe to at least get one more out there. So, like I say, and of course, July 11th is also EJ's birthday. So yeah, he gonna have something playing along with Superman and SPD, Power Rangers, and of course, yours truly birthday right around the corner on the 31st, the last day of March, which will be a Monday. So yeah, be on the lookout for that there. Of course, probably a little late when I do something for mine on this channel here. So, but yeah, it'll be here. So, yep. So now let's go let's go on into this. I know the person thing say, "Oh, you sound like a preacher now." You say, "Will he get to the point?" Last thing I said, I'm closing. Well, last thing I said, I'm closing. Okay, preacher, I gotta go. It's a little long-winded today. So, all right. So last thing I said in Kroger Force. All right. So Power Rangers Kroger Force, a very I know a lot of you probably think it's a very odd ideal. A grocery store set of Power Rangers. what as they get to say, what's next? The Walmart Rangers, the Brookshire Rangers, the Kmart Rangers. Well, I don't know about Kmart. The Kmart ain't. I haven't not heard Kmart. I don't think been in business. I don't even think Kmart's still in business there. If well, at least here in Shreveport anyway. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe you might find one somewhere else outside of Shreveport. Where I don't know, but there is a tendency to sometimes find old stores in other parts of the world now. You never know, but I can tell you for sure ain't no Kmart here in Shreveport anymore. So yeah, so anyway, version one. So I started working for Kroger in 2005, the month of April. Matter of fact, right the last of April. I think April 29th or the 30th was my first day officially working at Kroger, working as a bagger. Um, my my big papa here took me up for my interview and everything there to the boss lady that we had at that time up there. Um, got me hired and everything. For one thing, my big papa he used to work at Kroger. He's retired from Kroger. So I kind of call him a Kroger veteran there. Um, and he's in Kroger, and then plus he's worked at some other places too. He started off working like at a place called Wine Garden years ago. Wine this place, and it's not in business anymore, but it was a place called Wine Garden. And at the same time, when he worked there, he was working at a restaurant, which I think is also out of business, called Griffey Burger. Yeah, he had to do grocery. He was doing grocery store and flipping burgers there. So yeah, he was kind of going all around. Then as they working two different jobs through the week. Then he would have other little side jobs here and there, um, kind of side small side job. Then eventually, when he retired from, well, actually, Wine Garden closed down. Then he was automatically transferred to Kroger, and when he got to Kroger, that was it. He didn't do any other side jobs or anything like. It was all Kroger then, and basically he was the night manager there. Um, so yeah, he put in quite a bit of time in Kroger until, of course, he retired. So yeah, so of course, well, hey, how y'all doing? It's my grandson Gabriel. They get a little job here after school. so so yeah, started working there. Like I say, April the is either April 29th or 30th, but I know it was like at the one of them last 2 days of April, 2005. Um, Matter of fact, I even remember it was raining the first on my first day, so I was pushing out a few groceries in the rain there, which I mean it was April showers, so kind of makes sense, yeah. Um, so yeah, so eventually, as I was working there, also let me stop for that. Put a one in the chat. I'm just making sure that the chat is still running. To I think you're in here, EJ, still. But put a one in the chat if everything is still running. And I ain't froze up or anything. Just want to make sure the chat is still going there. So yeah, just yeah, like I say, test make sure we still see each other. Yeah. Oh, he gives a me. Me. Make sure yeah, just like that. Yeah, put a one. Okay, I see what I just put up came up. I want to make sure I'm still showing up to you guys there. Yeah, let me know you still see me bobbing up here. Well, okay, but waiting on that. So after I had been there for a while, eventually, I came up. I started because I was also watching Power Rangers still. Um, Most I kind of had got. I think at that point when version one was out, I was they still no. Well, no. I take it back because I know Dino Thunder was more. That was 2004 actually, 2004, and like I said, I started. So I think they still kind of were out there, and I think SPD was about to begin because, like I say, 2005. So SPD was about to begin. So I guess maybe the time I started working at Kroger for the very first time, I think they were sort of wrapping up Dino Thunder because I remember seeing like episodes on ABC Family through the weekdays uh, when they first started coming on. But so yeah, I think they were wrapping up, and then eventually you got SPD. Uh, so so it's kind of I would say yeah, kind of. I think probably SPD probably was out, was had probably just begun by the time it came to me like, oh, how about if I make a Power Rangers Kroger Force there, like Rangers fighting for the Kroger store. So um, yeah, that's when SPD probably was out at that point, had just started, and I had just or either not just started, but I had just got into it due to one of the kids at this daycare at my high school that I volunteered at. Well, they kept calling me the Shadow Ranger. I was like, "What the Shadow Ranger?" And that's when I found out from SPD. So yeah, so probably that would, well, yeah, that would kind of make sense. Um, so version 1 started. Excuse me. Get a little sip. Yeah. So version 1 is started. With of course that was myself. Now, unlike Mega Cards, I did come up with some other names for me and the other employees that I imagined in this. So obviously, those names will protect their real names, of course. This now I would be known as Tyson Reagan. That was my character, the Red Ranger, who was a bagger. Then you had Jonah, who was the Blue Ranger. Also, I think somewhat on the, I think he was like a utility clerk or something like that. Ah, yes, the chat's still going. Thanks, got the hearts. Thanks for the likes there. So yeah, then of course you had Eric, who had a Kroger Force Black Ranger. Um, I guess you could say he was kind of like on the night shift, a night crew or something like that. So then you had then of course the girls. Eric, it was a girl named Erica on from the service desk. And again, these are names I made up for them, not their real names. But Erica, yeah, on the service desk. Um, and I'm not gonna say the name, but she looked like somebody that I currently work with in my Kroger there. So um, never know, it could be related there. As Francine's dad saying often, you think we could be related? So then the Pink Ranger was another girl named I call it Susie in the series there. So you got myself as Tyson, Jonah, Eric, say Erica, two, there's a pretty much two E's there, and Amy. I mean, oh, Susie. I'm sorry, Susie. So yeah, those the five of us. So we're just assigned Kroger morphers, and our mission, of course, to defend the Kroger store, obviously, against the evil Krieger, our rival. Yeah. First thing, somebody y'all might think like, well, wouldn't the rival of Kroger be more like Walmart or Brookshire's? Yeah. Uh, yeah, you would think, but yeah, like I said, I just made this up randomly, Krieger, and inside Krieger was, of course, this group of aliens that were like, we have we have to destroy Kroger in order for our business to thrive. Let's attack. So they launched their attack there, and now there are a few. Now to start off Kroger Force, there were a few things recycled from Mega Cards. First up, first up was the Foot Soldiers. Once again, we have the Rock, and that's going to be in all the versions of Kroger Force. Just letting y'all know. So yeah, we are fighting Rock Soldiers again. Rock Soldiers, dun 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 dun. Dun. And yeah, so five of us go out, just like like how the Rangers would fight the putty sometime unmorphed there. And then of course, eventually the morphing. And the morphing code here is Kroger Force, power up. Ha! They activate and Kroger Force red, Kroger Force blue, Kroger Force black, Kroger Force yellow, Kroger Force pink, Power Rangers, Kroger Force. And the way I imagined, like, I think with the Kroger logo on the suits, that I did think of that, but not with the first two versions there. That actually was something that was thought about in the later versions you'll hear in another video. Um, in here, for some reason, I just imagine a big K on their suits to stand for Kroger there. So, yeah. Yeah, I think that Kroger logo would have went a lot better, but I didn't think about it again until the later version. Uh, so we got our we're all morphing everything. The weapons that we got to fight with. I got my weapon was the Bascard saber, sword made from the very metal of the shopping carts. And Jonah, he had the Kroger driller or driller staff or something like that. There, uh, Eric had the defender wheel. Yeah, sort of like imagine Cap shield, but it's actually a giant tire, spinning tire for a shield. I thought it worked. So, um, Susie, she had the auto blaster, and pay attention to that. That's going to come in somewhere in a later version. But she had an auto blaster, um, and Erica, she had um, she had two the Kroger daggers there. So we plowed through more rock soldiers. Then of course couple other things that got recycled from mega cards. One was the first villain, and again, just like the rock soldiers, they do appear in the other versions of Kroger Force there. So you get Sidara, the sea dragon on two legs there. They fight and everything. I'm gonna get you, y'all can't defeat me. It's gonna take more than that. Blah, 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 blah. And eventually, they get up on him. And then, of course, you have a finishing move from Tyson. He holds up his Bascard saber, and like gathering the energy within it from all the shopping carts gather into that sword, uh, making the sword really large, almost like let me show you the example of it. Because I kind of think of this guy from Rioni Kitchen here. Let's see, Rioni. I mean this Rioni Kitchen, and that is not what I said. I said Rioni Kitchen, not Rainy Kitchen. Ooh boy, let's see. Let's just put kitchen here. Yeah, there we go. Okay, let's see. Main characters. Okay. Okay. Perfect. Here's a picture. So yeah, remember anybody that's seen Rioni Kenshin? Remember this guy, I think it was Sanosuke. I uh, Sanosuke. But you see that big sword he has right there? That's what would happen when all the baskets gathered into Tyson's Bascard saber. Of course, it would be a little bigger, but yeah, he would hold up a big sword like that, and then do like final strikes. And then when he did that, you see a big train of shopping carts come at Sidara or any other bad guy he does that to. Like, oh no! Your man, he hit by a big train of shopping carts, and all these sparks and stuff flying from them. Oh no! Falls down, explodes. Our Kroger Force win. Yeah, and one funny thing, since I mentioned about that guy from Rioni Kitchen with the big sword, funniest scene that I've seen, because I watched a little bit of Kenshin with Casey there. I remember we watched some episodes together and sort of role played a little bit, along with some of the other stuff we role played. Um, one of the funniest scenes was at when they went to eat out at this restaurant, and that guy, he was something happened, but he left out of the restaurant, and they was wondering and Kenshin them, they were wondering about like who he was and stuff like that. And the waitress shows up randomly. Oh my god, that man forgot to pay his bill. Like, really? That's the only thing that tips you off? Well, then again, she is running a business, so I mean, oh boy. So anyway, so yeah, they beat Sidara. And then of course another recycled villain, Kodran there, the big sea dragon. So of course he's giant size, so you need the Kroger Zords. What are the Kroger Zords, you ask? Well, some of them seem like okay, they're supposed to be Power Rangers from a grocery store. So um Eric gets the black patrol car, Kroger patrol car. Jonah gets the Kroger drill tank. And, yeah, I guess you could go with that there. Erica gets the Kroger lifter, which is like a giant forklift there. Well, they do have I guess you could say, yeah, like at the warehouse, they probably have stuff like forklifts. And I know at Kroger, we have something called the straddle jack there, with the big blade, sort of similar to a forklift. And then this is where it kind of gets, I mean, it's kind of cool, but considering the other three I just named, you got a drill, a forklift, and a patrol car. And for the Pink and Red Ranger, the Pink Ranger has a Kroger crane, like the animal crane. And the Red Ranger, of all things, because of course, it's cool, has the Kroger dragon. So Kroger is Kroger and the company would get together to make a crane and a dragon Zord mixed with these other three Zords. Makes sense to me. So yeah, they all, so five of them, they fly in, attack individually, and then of course have to form the Kroger Megazord. Uh this is the formation. The dragon form kind of because this one, and it kind of makes me think of something me and EJ were talking about with Megazord formations in some of the later seasons there as compared to the early, like Mighty Morphin and stuff like that. The dragon becomes of course, the head of the Megazord, excuse me, and the back of it, not the front, but the back of it with of course its wings and stuff, and the Megazord's legs there. Then the crane just attaches on as an extra set of wings. After that, the other three Zords, the patrol car becomes the chest plate of the Megazord, and then of course the forklift and the drill tank attaches arms to the Megazord, and that's pretty much it there. Yeah, I mean it's a formation, but looking back on then, like thinking about other Megazord formations, I feel like that should have came out a little better than what it did there. I mean, I don't know, but that's what you do, and of course they defeat Kodran, the Kroger's, the Ranger sword and everything. They always have a sword. Some cases there are some seasons where they don't use a sword for the finishing attack, and they have other methods. Sort of like with the Ninja Megazord. Huh. Wait. Huh. Oh, okay. Oh, wait. You know about the movie? I definitely. Huh. Oh, okay. Okay, this is something else here. Okay. I was thinking it was something current there. But, okay. Anyway, so yeah, you got all these Krogerzoids and everything, and they so then get later episode we have another recycled villain, which will be another versions. But anyway, but of course it's gonna be Tratus, and one good thing is much he will kind of get a little bit more, just a little bit more, especially in the later versions there. Tratus. So he tries to switch places with one of the Rangers, but it fails. And just like Mega Cards, he ends up accidentally switching Tyson and Erica in each other's bodies there. So they have to try to get something to reverse the effect and get them back to their regular bodies, while the other Rangers are trying to deal with Tratus and some more of the foot soldiers, of course, in the old typical fashion. And then, they get it fixed, join back up together, and of course, save the day. Then there's some other episodes and everything. And excuse me, sorry about that. Eventually, you get a filler episode involving a carnival at Kroger, for, I guess, to try to, I guess, sort of like the equivalent of like when a store has a grand opening. But just imagine if they put a carnival out there. So during this carnival, there's a wind monster that attacks, and Susie ends up having to be the one to take him out. Uh, see, she ends up getting a very special item called the wind cannon, and is able to use it in combination with her auto blaster to defeat the wind monster. So a wind versus the wind there. Then after that, the crow. After that, you get some other. You get like, I think there's supposed to be a point where they, excuse me, where they got something called utility mode. Well, actually, no, not utility mode. Cycle armor mode. Like they had like the Kroger cycles, or like, a lot of Ranger seasons have motorcycles. Remember how in Lightspeed when Carter combined with his motorcycles or like that? Yeah, that's pretty much what came to my mind with the psych. Well, actually, not Lightspeed, but I did see it shortly after making this. But I was actually, even though I was using motorcycles, I was actually, the thing I had in mind was actually the swap mode from SPD. Like, swap mode. So, so with that, just like similar to an episode of SPD, like, oh no, the SWAT Megazord! Hold it right there, Brute Wing. So in this case, oh no, the utility Megazord! Hold it right there. So with that said, oh yeah. So with that said, yeah, the Wind Monster defeated. Um, After that, there was another Ranger that shows up, and sort of a reference to Green with Evil. If any of you ever seen that, when Tommy became the evil Green Ranger. Um, but with with this red versus, I mean, not red, but they sort of just like with the I forgot. Oh yeah, just like similar when they had, when the Tommy was under that spell as the Green Ranger. Like, Rita is my empress. Well, we get something similar to that with similar to that. Oh, I'm trying to think what I called him. I know it was another guy. I called him Frank. It's kind of common there. Like, and and then of course, let's see. Like, okay, Frank. Yeah, I think that's what I called him there. And the what ended version 1 was all of a sudden like some of the people like leaving Kroger, stuff like that. Cause there was a lot of people that were wanting to go to another job and all that. Um, with one thing about it, say, you can't build up any seniority that way, but people have their different choices and everything. It's ooh, that's the end of water for me. So yeah, give me just 1 second. Yeah, I got those on be right back. If y'all come in the chat, don't go nowhere. Don't go nowhere. Okay. Sorry about that there. I had to get a little something out of the other room. So, folding it up right now. So, anyway, so then of course, yeah, there was, so we had, of course, most seasons, maybe not every season, but most seasons, just like Mighty Morphin, are gonna have that evil ranger that and then he'll turn good and stuff like that. So in this case, the evil ranger for this for version number one, what was a ranger called the Beige Ranger, which beige is actually a very light color. So it's in the family of yellow, but it's really light. And and it's on my thumbnail. Y'all can yeah, it's on the thumbnail of the stream. So I'm pretty sure a lot of you have probably seen it when you got in here. Hold on one second. Mm, hate when that happens there. Okay, let me go back. You're right there. So yeah, right next to the Green Ranger, not right next to the Green Ranger in the picture. That's the Beige Ranger. It's sort of not so that's kind of what the shade is like for beige there. Yep. So yeah, so he was signed by Krieger to destroy the Rangers, of course. Proves to be really powerful, overpowering them, even having his own Zord. For some reason, even though he's, even though Krieger is using him, he, I think what it was, they were about to get a extra Zord, which was a Kroger truck Zord, and the Beige Ranger stole it and used it for his own. Uh, Even the Kroger truck could even turn into a Megazord on his own. Thus, also, it was made a little bit stronger than the five original Zords. So, yeah, he uses that to his advantage there, and ends up taking out the Kroger Rangers. And it doesn't seem like it's looking too good for them. Like, how are we gonna, you know, get through this Beige Ranger and everything? Then, it's their son. The managers they quickly get to work on something that can counteract the Beige Ranger. He also's got like fire powers and stuff like that, especially in his weapons. So they use that to their advantage, and they I think they end up getting another Ranger, sort of like what they did in Beetleborgs when they got another Beetleborg there to face Shadowborg. So with that, you get the emergence of the Crystal Ranger, and the Crystal Ranger is actually a pretty is a hip is a hip guy. He's is an elderly guy, but he's hip there, sort of like like them hip grandpas there, like John Witherspoon, stuff like that. So yeah, they say I got my hip before you did. So he becomes the Crystal Ranger, takes on the Beige Ranger, is able to defeat him now, and eventually the Beige Ranger converts over to their side, and now it's seven of them, and facing the evil forces of Krieger. There's a point where they eventually get this armor up mode, similar to SPD with the swap mode there. But in their case, they call it I think it's utility mode or something like that, or maybe vest mode there, because it kind of one thing I was thinking of was these vests that we had back when we were baggers, and the baggers still have them, but they look a little different than they used to. But we had like these little vests that would so cars could see us and stuff. So imagine that as an armor, and they say vest mode, virtual enhanced security team. So yeah, they do that. They got that mode, and then they also have what I think. No, I take that back. That I actually was using a later version, But I think what they got was cycle armor. Pretty much it's combining with their Kroger cycles there. And then of course, you got it, especially ever since Power Rangers Space, it sort of became the whole thing of every Red Ranger having somewhat of a battleizer and everything. So we get that with we get that with Tyson. Uh, no, yeah, no, no, with all five of them there. Their cycle armor mode there. Then the cycle armor Zords. Yeah, Megazord made out of three different motorcycles. Dodex. Also, this Crystal Ranger has a Zord as well. Pretty much acts like a utilities, like sort of like Titanus almost, because it's a giant ice tank there. Yeah, even bigger than the original Megazord, which is one reason why. Like, okay, so one of us can ride in there, right? so, so of course, that's pretty much it that I thought of for version one. Then there was, of course, version two. Version two of Croker Force started to get a little bit more fleshed out in certain areas. So, um, first off, got and all and both of these versions was also before I met Queen Tina, of course. So Pink and Yellow, they Eric and and Ebony, well actually Ebony, not I mean yeah, Erica, sorry. Okay, wait. Wait. I'm trying to think. Oh yeah, not I almost lost my voice. Uh, so yeah, oh yeah, the Cycle Armor. Oh yeah, they there was also the Cycle Armor Megazord too. Five. I guess you could say they're sort of made similar to the Omega Rangers Omega Max cycle. If you had like five of them and combined them into one Megazord. And funny thing, it was I imagine a scene where they come up to one of the bad guys. Oh no, the Cycle Megazord! Hold it right there. Sort of like when Brute Wing freaked out when he saw the SWAT Megazord and was surprised it was up there. Oh no, the SWAT Megazord! Hold it right there, Brute Wing. so so of course there's all of that there. That was pretty much all that I had with version one. So version two, very interesting. Um, version two pretty much started off slightly different than version one. Still, my character is Tyson, and a few other characters that were added. You had Randy Nelson and Diana Roberts. That was two of the managers. Diana Roberts was the head manager, and Randy Nelson was working under her as an assistant uh, store manager. So with that, it is the start of the second Kroger Force version. Um, Everybody, the main five Rangers, Tyson, um, CC, Kiki, Alex, and Donald. Yeah, Donald. They're just they're all talking about different Power Rangers. So technically, this is supposed to be a universe where Power Rangers exist only as a TV show there, as well as other things like Digimon and stuff like that. Um, so so then there's a big discussion they have over which one they think would be a good Ranger and everything. And of course, Kaiba fashion, they oh wait no I'm saying Kaiba's not in this. But anyway, they're trying to figure out who the best Ranger would be, like from the previous season. And then suddenly the store blows up, and somehow miraculously, due to the person that's blasted their way into the store is Ace of Silverstone being mind controlled by Kisura. Um, so apparently that must have unearthed the crystals there. But but of course, oh yeah, oh no, not crystal, but the gems, Kroger gems. So before they can find our heroes rise up out of the rumble, It turns out the gems have fused with them, sort of like the gems in Power Rangers Dino Thunder, bonded with them, and with their powers, they manage to get the they don't they don't like they manage to get the villains, Ace and all them, to pretty much flee out of fear. Like, we'll be back. So, oh, oh, okay, all right. So, we'll take some EJ there. So, and let me turn this down. I want to get copyright. This is that I do not own the rights. That's my ringtone, my text tone, and also my ringtone. My more only only one way that would be, EJ, if they did a Teen Titans Power Rangers collaboration. Teen Titans Power Rangers. Now that would actually make it pretty interesting. The Titan communicators kind of put them in the morphers there, kind of. They, yeah, especially if you mix it up with the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, since they were teenagers with attitude there. So Robin, Red, Robin, you will control the mighty Tyrannosaurus power, the mighty Tyrannosaurus sword. Starfire, the sweet, say, oh yeah, yeah. Oh, he got all that blue in his armor, and he's sort of the tech guy. Yeah. And I guess technically, now if you go by Mighty Morphin, I guess Beast Boy will be black, but you could say green if you want to kind of mix things up. 'Cause I know you say you wanted to mix some stuff up in what you was trying to make there, EJ. Okay. Okay, I would go. Okay, I see where you're going with that, Raven, because she's kind of goth and everything. So yeah, you would. Yeah, you wouldn't really. Guess it wouldn't. I guess that yellow would not really go so well with Raven. And of course, yeah, Starfire would be traditional pink because she's real sweet and everything. And I guess Terra would be like somewhat like yellow or gold, kind of maybe. Because you think because she got Earth powers, there's yeah, Terra, yes, that's her name, Terra. Yeah, 'cause I know her and Beast Boy kind of had a thing there. Hey, Terra. So yeah, yeah, technically, yeah, she probably would. Yeah. So yeah, it'd be a good little mix up there, kind of, and say a little do something out of the ordinary. So with that, so yeah, with that, uh, so with that, the Kroger gems, they're fused in our new team. Um, they scare off the villains, and so I guess you could say the Kroger gems have allowed our five Rangers to survive. But this is where there's a big plot hole right away here. Three primary colors. Oh yeah, red, blue, and yellow. Hmm. Okay. Yeah. Like Ninja Storm, Dino Thunder. Yeah, they when they were trying to trim down the Ranger teams and stuff. Yeah, they kept those primary colors. Um, I don't know if you saw this season, but you know, uh, Dino. You ever heard of the Power Rangers? Dino Charge. They actually they had red and blue, but instead of yellow, they had pink. And then eventually they had other colors join in, but they did. That was the only season that didn't actually have a yellow ranger. So yeah, oh okay, yeah, but yeah, there were others. I know, yeah, traditionally you would think red, blue, and yellow, but yeah, they kind of mixed it up there a little bit. So uh, um So yeah, of course the Kroger gems kept our heroes safe and everything, but big plot hole. What happened to all and the employees in that rubble and everything? I mean, you just and then not to mention, uh, you just blew up the store, and you okay, like where you've been, like either you've been to Mansfield Road Kroger, right? Uh, there you go. Probably should have there. We should have. But you've been to Mansfield Road, Kroger, haven't you, EJ? Before they closed down. Yeah, just put a or either put like yes or either put a one in the chat there if you if you've been there. Okay, so okay, and now so in the place since that Kroger closed down, they got something else in its place. But just picture this in your mind: the Pines Road Kroger suddenly just blows up, and hey, what's going on, KC? KC. Oh, funny thing, me and Christina were actually watching an episode of Yu-Gi-Oh of the KC Grand Prix, and it's like Kaiba Corp, KC, and Yu-Gi-Oh, KC. Yeah, it's like you kind of. I know. In the role plays, you call yourself Julie in Yu-Gi-Oh, but yeah, it was like wow, Casey. Oh, okay, cool. All right. Hey, nothing wrong with that. There, like this thing, friend. Yu-Gi-Oh's big thing was friendship. So yeah, that doesn't like having that. Um, but yeah, that's what kind of came to mind. Casey, Kaiba Corp, Casey. So with the that was a big plot hole. Like the big Pines Road Kroger just blew up, and suddenly you don't see like all the thing you see is the buildings beside Kroger, like Dragon's Lair and Song and stuff like that, and Burger King across the street, and the other restaurants like McDonald's and stuff. So he's telling me if there's no building here, there's just a break room table with chairs sitting up in broad in right in the open, and you're telling me anybody passing by here would not like, hey, what just happened? Where's Kroger? So that was a major plot hole there. It's like, yeah, you think somebody would stop and take a look? So yeah, especially you got this evil this businessman that's being controlled by Kisura and everything, and these rock soldiers surrounding and everything. Oh boy, that's yeah. But like I said, I was in high school when I wrote that. So yeah, there was some improvements needed to be. So there were some improvements that were needed in my writings back then. So yeah. So with that, so there's this wizard that's a time traveling wizard named Melvin, not to be confused with Merlin. So, but he's dressed. He's sort of. I sort of imagine him dressed up like the way Mickey Mouse's wizard outfit, but with like all these moons and stars on it and stuff like that. And he gets he ends up fending off Ace and Silverstone and the Rock Soldiers. They're like, "Oh, we'll be back," and he explains to our hero, to Tyson and the others, what's happened. They're infused with the Kroger gems and stuff. Tyson has electricity power, and Alex ends up having water power. Has the power of water. Uh, Donald has the what? Okay, I'll come back to Donald. You got so this case. So yeah, you got Tyson, Alex, and then you got um instead of Erica and Susie, this time for Yellow and Pink, you got what's that name? Oh man, I had that name just a second ago. Oh wait, I got it. Okay, I know what it was. Kiki. So yeah, Kiki, do you love me? Do you need me? La 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 Kiki. I'm pretty sure somebody know that song. Yeah, when they did that viral videos of that Kiki dance. Kind of a risky thing to do, but a lot of people be doing this stuff. Had filming themselves dancing outside their car while it's moving and stuff. Now I will say, Jason David Frank, before he came to Bossier. Well, actually, when he arrived in Bossier for that Comic Con, he actually did that TikTok challenge, but he did it in a safe way. He had his daughter with him, and probably a few other people. So what he did, his daughter was behind the wheel. I think his daughter was behind the wheel of the car, Jenna Frank. And oh, you remember? Oh, okay, you remember that? Yeah. So yeah, he had somebody driving the car. The car wasn't just moving on its own. Yeah. So yeah, yes, I miss him too, man. I miss. I wish he was him, Jason David Frank. Um, when I was at work, we Michael Jackson came up in the conversation. I wish I could have met Michael Jackson in person, because you realize how cool that would be to meet Michael Jackson, just like Jason David Frank. Matter of fact, I had a dream once that I met Michael Jackson in person, in a dream, and in the dream, Michael Jackson came to church with me and Christina. It was pretty cool there. He actually went to church with us, and got happy too. Got like when they was singing and stuff. This was before Brookwood, by the way. Not New Bethlehem, but First Baptist. And when they was like when the spirit got up, lifted, the presence of the Lord is here. I feel it in the atmosphere, something like that. Michael Jackson, he got happy. Oh, he, woo! Now, I'm not completely sure exactly what his shouts were, but you probably could imagine probably some of the sounds he might make. I think he may have spoken tongues there, but he got happy. The spirit hit him there in that dream there. And ironically, I remember Steve Harvey mentioned about that he took Michael Jackson to church in reality once there. I came to pick old Michael up for church. He come out, the boy was dressed like the Nutcracker. Michael, what you got? All these badges and stuff on. Michael, where's your suit? I'm ready. I was like, oh my God. So, oh, man, so yeah, that was ironic. He actually went to church with somebody, and I had a dream of him at my church there. I, so, so anyway, and now we return to Power Rangers Kroger Force after that brief little commercial break. Do, do, do. Almost like we're now returned back to the Transformers. Oh boy, Jason Dale, Frank, and Michael Jackson, man. So, so they get so they all. Oh yeah, um, Kiki, yeah, she gets the powers of moving the earth. And Cece gets the powers of wind. Donald, he gets the power of beast. That is not a bad power. It's basic. When I say power of beast, basically Beast Boy's power. He can change into different animals there, which is actually not a bad power. I mean, who doesn't like Beast Boy's? Beast Boy's ability is a pretty good ability. But the only kind of odd choice in that is the fact, your other four team members got elements and stuff like, lightning and water and earth and wind. First thing you would think, like, okay, well, wouldn't he have another element there? But apparently, beast was considered a element in this universe. I guess like Captain Planet when they say, "Hi." So yeah, they got these powers, and Kroger Force power up. They morph. They engage in battle against the villains, the rock soldiers and all that, and Zidara again in front of the Yuri Drive Kroger, um, with their element powers and stuff, and they even combine them to make a lightning funnel twister thing. Yeah, they combine their elements there, and the day is saved. Um, then in a later episode, they start discussing about what's probably going to come next of their adventures and stuff like that while they're in the break room. Donald's really excited about it and everything. There's a scene he gets so excited that he runs all around the break room and accidentally because he turns into a road runner and starts running all over the place because road runners can run fast, and he accidentally goes so fast he accidentally trips on something and goes flying into the ladies' bathroom by mistake. And of course, there's a couple of ladies in the run like, get out, get out, get out, get out, get out, get out. Like, oh, wait, whoa, 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 whoa. Almost like Digimon Frontier when they came in thinking Zoe was in trouble and she was getting undressed. It was like, get out, get out, get out, get out, get out. so so any so of course they get so then the managers call our heroes upstairs to the upstairs office to let them know something going down by the train yard there. Um, Tyson and Alex has not got there yet. So it's Tyson, Cece, Kiki, and Donald present. Um, Tyson and Kiki are sent out to check out what's going on. It turns out it's a nanite that starts multiplying into multiple nanite robots, sort of similar to the nanites in the Static Shock episode that featured the Hoop Squad. Remember the Hoop Squad there? Out. Like Carmelone, aka the Pulverizer, Point Man, Center Force, Spin Drive. We the Hoop Squad. So yeah, the robots that those guys were facing there. So yeah, they're facing these things at the train yard. Kiki and Tyson, and it's kind of a little tough there at first. Alex manages to show up to try to help them out there because he was kind of late getting to work there, but he gets the news and shows up to help them out. Um, Meanwhile, back at Kroger, turns out that Cece, something is holding Cece back at first from coming out there to help them. Also, one thing I want to mention about Cece, very interesting little thing. The employee that I imagine as Cece, not going to say her real name, but this was before Christina, both of these versions, because I was still in high school working after school. The employee that I imagined as CC, real nice, really nice, by the way. She actually told me because I sort of told them about what I was imagining and hey, Power Rangers Kroger Force. When I talked with when I talked with her, she told me like it's interesting that you call me Cece in this story, Gabe, because that's what my I think she said that's what her grandmother calls her as a nickname is Cece. So that was kind of interesting there. Yeah, and I think there was something else I actually imagined the character Cece in too there. Um so anyway, we had so yeah, she's kind of hesitant of coming out with the others. Donald, of course, goes into action to help the others. Um, Eventually, Cece has an encounter with this little boy who's about like 5 years old, uh, kind of questioning, what's wrong and everything. And eventually, she decides, I need to get out there. But then the little boy vanishes. Like, wait, where'd he go? So, like, okay, I'll deal with that later. And so she morphs, and now the five of them are all together to go up against the nanites. They think that they've defeated the nanites there, but apparently these things reform and become bigger. Make my monster grow. Almost, or I get, well, I know they didn't, I know this isn't the Zeo era, but since it is a robot they're dealing with, kind of makes me think of Clank from Zeo when he said, around and away we go. Here you go. So nanites grow there, um, and they're wondering, about this, about the Krogazords there. They don't show up immediately, but then out of the sky, five Zords come out of the sky. Tyson gets what's called the Kroger Thunder Plane. Say Cece gets the Wind Bullet Train. Kiki, she ends up getting the Earth Lifter, much like she did in version one. And this Alex, he gets the Ocean Drill Tank like before. However, Donald ends up getting, let's see, oh yeah, the Wild Tractor there. So yeah, I think yeah, it's a Wild Tractor. So these five Zords go into battle. Imagine imagine this Zord battle with the giant nanite, not in downtown with the tall buildings like usual, but over on West 70 in Mansfield, because this nanite actually had been traveling on a train heading that way. So so you got this big Megazord fight near the intersection of Mansfield and West 70. For those of y'all in Shreveport know where that's at. Uh, the they first attack with their individual Zord, but then it's like, okay, it's Megazord time. Now this Megazord formation is not completely odd, but it's a lot better than version one. At least with the the kind of with the configuration there. The Thunder Plane forms into, of course, the body, because Red Ranger body and the head. Uh, the pink bullet train and the forklift. They let's see, I'm trying to think. Well, actually, the pink bullet train and the drill tank, they become arms, and the earth lifter and the wild tractor become become lower half of legs that attach to the upper half from the plane body there. And then, of course, the Kroger Megazord. And they're able to defeat the giant nanite with one swing of his sword. And then we find out the reason why Cece was hesitant at first to come out in the first place, because turns out her mom is the store manager there, uh, Diana Roberts, and I made that was a made up name there. So Diana Roberts, Cece's mother, and also store manager. Uh, Apparently, she about a few years ago she almost lost Cece in a house fire and was afraid of losing her. But Cece ensures her mother that she'll be able that she is able to take care of herself, and especially with the other Rangers alongside her, she should you won't have to worry about this there. So then we go into the next episode, which turns out is at the beach. A lot of our five heroes have the day off, and they're just trying to relax at the beach and everything over in Oil City. Reason I say Oil City because there is a Cross Lake out here. There's an area of Cross Lake that my mom and I went to with a friend of hers back in the day, and it was kind of like a beach. Not, I don't know if it's considered to be a beach, but it is very similar to one. But I remember we went out there, and I remember floating on inner tubes out in the water. Yeah, it was a lot of fun there. So, and of course, having a little picnic too. So, with that said, so they're trying to relax, and then suddenly they get attacked by Kygon and Grandai. Actually Kygon first. He's all aren't he got he's actually not a monster or anything. but he's just a regular guy, but he got all this high tech armor on, and so he's attacking at the beach and everything. So our heroes they morph into the Kroger Rangers and everything. It's actually just four of them there at first: Kiki, Cece, Donald, and Alex. The four of them engage in the battle, and there's a funny moment where they keep getting um, Kaigun's name wrong, like Kaidun, Kaigun, Kaipu, Kaigun, Chiron. It's Kaigun. It's almost like this Channel Awesome movie I once watched to Boldly Flee. When they kept getting Terrell's name wrong, they had one of them cosplaying Terrell from Battlefield Earth. It was like Tigger, Terrell. Oh my God! I just spoke with you on the phone. So yeah, they managed to defeat Kaigon pretty easily, but and Tyson eventually shows up to what was it? Tyson he eventually shows up in order to present them with new Kroger weapons and their Kroger cycles. Now they each have these different weapons. Uh, Tyson, of course, has his Kroger saber, a lightning saber. Alex, this ocean driller. Donald has the Giga Laser Shield, a shield that can shoot lasers. And then Kiki, she has the forklift daggers there. And Cece this time, she has the wind cannon there. So she immediately got this now. So they're all ready, and with their weapons, they managed to blow Kaigon away. However, then Kodran shows up, and they have to call their Krogosaurs and pretty much battle with him on the beach. During all this, Melvin showed up looking for the little boy from earlier because they spotted him, and ends up running into Grandai, Kaigon's brother. Grandai challenges Melvin, and the two of them kind of duke it out, and then it sort of ends with a cliffhanger, leading into the next episode where Tyson, Kiki, Cece, Donald, and Don and Alex are all gathered at the store in the middle of the night to help get it cleaned up for company in the morning. Back then, I know Kroger does close. They close like right now. I think they close like at 11 o'clock. They used to stay open till 1 in the morning, but now I think they changed it to closing at 11. But they still open at 6 though. But when I first started working there, I knew there were people like myself because I'm working after school that did work at night, like kind of like come in kind of like early afternoon and be still there at that night. But the thing I did not understand, excuse me, I did not understand is that there was that the night crew, they had people in the night crew that actually would be in the store still even after it closed there, to get things most of on the grocery aisle together. So that was my first time finding out when I went to the Mansfield Road Kroger for the first time. So with that, so they're supposed to get everything cleaned up for company and stuff. Uh, it's our five heroes plus old man Sammy. Say yeah. So the six of them they go off their separate ways along with the managers to start cleaning Kroger up and everything. Uh, eventually the villains started coming in to attack, and one I remember they had well I think before they show up there is a thing with this muscle enhancer that Alex has gotten a hold of in order to well as you guessed it get his muscles toned up and flexed there. So with that oh, okay. I thought you said something else down there. Um, so with that, see, I talk about okay, wait, the crow. Okay, Wait, I lost my. Um, okay, I know I mentioned about with the clean up the store. Okay, so they all split off to clean up the store. You got Tyson, Kiki, Cece, Donald, and Alex, and old man Sammy. Six of them split off along with the management to get things in order. Donald is in the produce department cleaning it up, and he's singing "In the jungle, the mighty jungle, the lion sleeps tonight." Then suddenly he sees a fly, and or as the old saying, it's like, "Help me, I'm fine, help me." So he decides he's gonna try to because I think he recognized I think that's supposed to be his daughters that's in the picture. But he gets them out of the say what was it? Oh yeah, the movie. No wait. Oh yeah. Uh, so that went. I'm trying to keep myself okay. Um, One thing I do have to admit, like I say, I'm still gonna finish out version two. Yeah, sort of fighting sleepiness is try to overpower me there. So I'm almost like I'm trying to break somebody's mind control here. So that if there were if at any point I sounded kind of weird, that's probably what happened there. Just letting y'all know that one thing my mom said when I was a little baby, I tried to fight sleep. So guess guess some things never change there. So anyway, you will not control me, sleep. I go to sleep when I want to go to sleep. Hey. So, anywho, so they all split off to start cleaning the store up. Like I said, oh yeah, Donald was singing in the jungle, the lion sleep night, and then he sees a fly, and he decides since he's got the power like Beast Boy to turn into a frog and try to lick the fly, but yeah, that doesn't work out the same for us, Donald. Even if you can turn into a frog, because you were not born a frog. Like, ooh, he runs to the bathroom to throw it up, and Sammy just happens to pass by. He's like, "Yeah, some bad chips or something." Uh, yeah, that's it. Then suddenly, uh, a new villain shows up. Fly Don, excuse me, Fly Don shows up and attacks Donald and Sammy. Uh, Donald tries to morph it for and I think there's one trying to think. Oh yeah, he they he at first Donald ends up getting thrown out of the store into about it near the back of the store where we take our trash out back then, and but he manages to get back up. Um, However, not right away, but he does manage to get up eventually. Fly Alex and Kiki show up to try to stop Fly Dumb, but he ends up hurling them into the dairy cooler and locks it. Even though some or I guess barricade it there. Then Donald just so happens to get back up, uh, turns into a really huge bird to try to get the jump on Flydon, but Flydon escapes in the form of an army of wasps. So Donald in bird form is trying to chase after all these a big army of wasps. And Sammy sees that and he doesn't know Donald turned into that bird. So when he hears Donald talking, he first thing Sammy screams is, "Oh my goodness! Wasp and a demon bird!" So he runs out of the store through the back door. Meanwhile, while Donald's chasing after Flyda in this form, eventually Flyda, excuse me, ends up coming across Tyson and Cece and uses another ability of his, the Beehive of Fear. This ends up projecting Tyson's worst fear, which is a wasp. And yeah, in real life, I'm not too fond of wasp. So with that, this kind of the fear starts to get to Tyson there, um, get to Tyson and everything. But I think CC or Alex shows up to get him out of there by blasting blasting Flydon right in the face there, so releasing Tyson from the Beehive of Fear, and um, and then just as about to pursue the battle, um, that's when the manager, Mrs. What was it, CC? Oh yeah, say Mrs. Roberts, decides to cut the fight. Like, hey, hold it. Let's take this outside, everyone. Good guys out that door, villains out the other. Continue. Kroger Force, power up! Ha! And they fight with our villains and stuff, only to be surprised by the arrival of Grandai, Kaigon's brother, boasting about how now Floor is under. They, oh yeah, oh wait, see, I'm okay. Let me get back. Okay, back to Kroger Force. So, oh yeah, they fight off with the other villains, stuff like that. Um, Turns out Flydon ends up getting the ability to grow. The Kroger Rangers are not able to get their Zords out for some reason, but uh, just as Flydon starts rampaging, he's intercepted by the SPD Rangers and their Zords there, apparently crossing dimensions. So they make quick work of Grandai, and then they find out, how they then of course they oh yeah they then of course that's when they have to find out how the SPD Rangers got there. Of course, after introducing themselves to one another, Kaigon gets up to try to attack them. They keep getting his name wrong, but then Grandai also shows up to get excuse me, say to not Kaigo, but Grand, Grandai shows up, revealing to the Rangers that he's kidnapped Melvin there, their wizard there. So then he's like, if you want to find us, you'll follow us to this world of ours. So, not having much of a choice, they agree to go to this other world. This it's called the Torican world, stuff like that. Or in some cases, I just called it the land of peace and dreams there. So originally, this was actually the blueprint of what would become Yumiko later, somewhat with the setup of the game, stuff like that. Um, so with that, was it? Oh yeah, so yeah, they have to. Melvin. They try to rescue Melvin, but then suddenly this Twister comes out of nowhere and takes all the Rangers and the villains into another world. That's what I was saying. The land of dreams and imagination. Yeah, that pretty much was Yumiko before I came up with that name. Yeah, so that actually has been used in other creations of mine before, but I just didn't have that name right away. Uh, so turns out in this world, the SPD Rangers are not affected, but for some reason the Kroger Rangers are reverted to their child forms, and they turn into 5-year-olds there, almost like what happened in the Digimon movie to the season 2 cast there. So, and in their child form, like the Alien Rangers, well, not the but like the original Rangers in the Alien Ranger mini saga, they're unable to morph. So, and Cece notices that Tyson in his kid form looks a lot like this little boy that she met. Um, Turns out this is where this little boy is at, and excuse me, this is where he's at. Um, and Jonah, of course, and he's looking for where the other Rangers have been sent to. There's a funny scene with the SPD Rangers, Omega and Shadow, where they rescue the managers and Sammy, and he has his Omega Max cycle come out, and when he tells them to get in, they're like, "How are we supposed to get in there? Just jump." Because that a lot of times what the Rangers be doing, just jumping into that Megazord there. So, mm, so with that, you get some new villains. Yeah, go got Grundai, and a lot of the SPD villains joined up with him. Like, and with this, oh yeah, he went with them, and but of course they're intercepted by the Rangers, of course, and pretty much back and forth, and eventually there's a Kroger Force SPD team up. They all do a group morph together and defeat the villains there, and of course, yeah, they pretty much defeat the villains. So with all of that, they managed to come out of, and Jonah is able to morph as well into the Kroger Force White Ranger. Now, I will say there was one. I think there was one. Oh, okay, well, I don't remember, but yeah, Jonah is the Kroger Force White Ranger. Um, and the Zord hit Thunder Plane, Drill Tank, Earth Lifter. Wow Lifter, the forklift, Wind Bullet Train. Yeah. So one thing about a lot. So yeah. Oh yeah. The Zord, they're unable to access the regular Kroger Zord, so it's kind of up to the SPD Rangers to sort of save the day and get things back to normal there for everybody up there. Uh, but of course, villains trying to get all of Kroger's data through a virus, but eventually it gets stopped there. like so, it gets stopped. And there's this whole team up of all these SPD monsters being released out of their cars and stuff. And it's like, okay, let's do it. So with that said, there, with that said, yeah, they managed to fix things as far as with the morphing and all that, and of course you get a Kroger Force SPD team up morph. Like SPD emergency, Kroger Force power up. Dun, 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 dun. And they're able to defeat all the villains there. Yeah. So, well, which now, so yeah, that the only thing that I remember happening after all of that was, of course, there was this whole thing. I called myself trying to draw a battleizer, and also another thing called Spaceballs. But yeah, I think that yeah, okay, yeah. After once they defeat all the team up villains, that's when they come back to the real world. Only other thing I remember after that was them stopping a meteor or something like that, and of course Tyson getting his battleizer, and that was pretty much it there. Like I said, I told you about the Zords and everything. So yeah, like it says, so I won't have to be sitting here. Since I got that wrapped up there, Kroger Force versions 1 and 2. So next live stream we'll be talking to. Next tomorrow we're gonna do the Bible reading. Three's got 14, 15, 16, and 17. So 4 chapters in Genesis, Abraham and Ishmael. That's gonna be the next stream tomorrow. Then Thursday, pick back up where we left off here, and it's gonna be talking about version 3 of Power Rangers Kroger Force. So and Power and version 4 would to be announced. But yeah, number 3 will be Thursday. So yeah, so appreciate you guys that came in here, in and out, but appreciate y'all coming. Um, and they just make sure you like and share and subscribe. Support us on that Patreon and buy some available books and hang out with us here on the live streams or Facebook or even Discord or whatnot. And let's sell each other some stuff on that McCary app there. So, matter of fact, I just sold some on the McCary app. My wife did. She sold her popcorn popper there. So yeah. So anyway, make sure you do all that, and we will. I guarantee you when I sign out, I'm probably just gonna fall right. I possibly might fall asleep in here. So until then, we'll see you guys later. Y'all take care, everybody, and I'm gonna go fall out, and I guess my wife will have to kiss me awake.